then going to the barbershop, sitting around.
That's why it's crazy we chose the name Klippah Talk.
I was saying, I ain't that. It's a nice little reminder.
Inside of him exists that man.
You got to get out of that comfort zone.
I think that's it. All right. Well, welcome to another edition of Klippah Talk. Today we have two special guests, one being Mr. Tez Heyman, and one being, I'm going to let Tyler introduce himself first, and after that, I'd like for both of you guys to give us a little background about yourself. What made you want to venture off into being entrepreneurs? We're going to name this one Entrepreneurs because both of you decided to take a path away from both of your college graduates, but you both chose to go away from your degree. And, you know, as an inspiration to others, I just want you to share a little background on how your degree also helped with the decision you made to be an entrepreneur.
All right, yeah, so Tyler Jones, trainer, entrepreneur, whatever the case may be. So, yeah, background for me, went to East Carolina University. Well, hold on. Let's rewind. So, from Reedsville, North Carolina. Matter of fact, shout out to Reedsville. Them boys won the states in football. Probably about to win the states in basketball. This upcoming Saturday. So shout out to them.
Where is Reedsville?
Right. What they call the football capital of North Carolina.
Never heard of it.
Yes, sir.
Hey, it's this big.
It's small. We make noise though.
Not the size of the parking lot.
Hey, God, dog, it is. But yeah, man. So from Reedsville, man, played sports there, baseball, football. Went on to college, East Carolina. Played 2 years, club ball there, baseball. Fast forward, got my degree in exercise science, which I still use to this day as an entrepreneur. For me, I know, just looking at, I feel like entrepreneurship is a way of freedom. They say a salary kill a dreamer's dream, So, I mean, for me, I feel like entrepreneurship is no limit. He probably can vouch for it as well. I mean, you have the freedom, you have the flexibility, the time that you probably wouldn't have if you were working a 9 to 5 or, just something where you couldn't control your own hours. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, and even y'all can vouch for that, even
Make your own money.
You make your own money, your own schedule, your own money is, that's true freedom. Even if you're not making, $1 million this year, do you have the freedom to be able to move, accordingly with your families, if you want to take vacations like we was just talking about, whatever the case may be, having that flexibility. So I know for me, that was definitely huge. But fast forward to now, even with the training, sometimes I look at it, as entrepreneurship, but I'm at a purpose now in my life to where I feel like, and I feel like every man goes through it. You find, like, what's my purpose? How can I impact? Like, what can I do to impact? You know what I'm saying? Right. So, I'm at a purpose now I'm trying to find my purpose now to where, I'm a trainer, but how can I impact my clients even more? How can I impact, those around me even more? Just dropping game, giving you game, like we was just talking about. How many times a day do you eat or whatever? So just stuff like that, man, any way I can help, whatever the case may be. So I'll let Tez talk.
Yeah, so I don't know if mine gonna be as long-winded. But Chef Tez, executive private chef Tez, a private chef out of Charlotte, North Carolina. This is actually 4 years of business. On March 3rd was 4 years for me. So
congratulations.
Yes, sir. So private catering company, focusing on in-home private dining, but we also take care of a lot of the professional athletes and stuff like that throughout the city. We do a few different things. We do in-home private catering, which is the bread and butter of the business. We do wedding catering and corporate catering maybe 3 times a quarter out the year. Also just adding on private jet catering, which is something I was, aspiring to do. So a lot of different things. But grew up here in Charlotte, originally from Baltimore, Maryland, but Charlotte is home for me. So it's been well. It's been well ever since we got started.
Now, you said something, and I want to go ahead and talk about that. Why you, because you shared with me the FedEx experience.
Mm-hmm.
You were talking. I know you were saying you wanted to get into doing private jet catering.
Mm-hmm.
So what was that experience like walking on that plane, dealing with FedEx? I mean, because
It was something I really like. It's real cliche with it when they be like, you can do whatever it is that you put some mind to. It was something that I set out. I'm like, I live near a private airport, so it's like I see the plane. I'm like, I gotta figure out how to make that work. So
Right.
did some research, made some calls, talked to the right people, developed a relationship, and maybe 3-4 weeks after I got my foot in the door, they were one of the first people who got in contact with us. So I didn't know who it was, so they don't tell you exactly who it is. And I got like the delivery sheet, and it was like FedEx corporate, but it was a great experience. Like, man, you never know who you gonna run into. There's a lot of work that I do, but it was great. It was fulfilling. I would say that it was super fulfilling. So I was super happy that it could start rolling and going in the direction that I always wanted it to. So
congrats on all the good stuff. So that's a big move to get a federal contract.
yeah.
Now, I know that you said the part about pouring into your client and giving something back. Now, what is your desired outcome when you deal with a client? Like, is it the overall health, or is it just trying to give them the confidence? Because confidence has a lot to do with
It's everything.
with how you feel, your mental,
Right.
and everything. So your perspective, like, what is your desired outcome when you run across a client?
So, of course, when you first meet a client, I mean, you have to kind of see where you want. I try to tell them, create a realistic plan. Like, what do you really want out of this? What's your goals? Like, are you looking to, lose weight? Are you looking to tone? Whatever the case may be. I mean, everyone has their own goals. So, ultimately, my ultimate goal is to pour as much knowledge as I can into you, or share as much as I have, truth that I know that's going to help you the most. So I mean, one day, if the relationship, if we split, you may move, I may move, anything can happen. You'll know exactly what to do, how to do it, and what you should be doing to, get to where you want to be if I'm not there. Because a lot of people, man, I mean, like you said, you spoke on the confidence thing. Confidence is everything. It's mind to muscle connection. So with that being said, it goes deeper than just trying to, lift weights or run. It's that voice in the head telling you, oh, no, stop right here. You good. You too tired. Can you keep that pace going? No, you good. No, let's go. Come on. You got a little more in you. Pump a little more. Give me another rep. Go another mile. You know what I'm saying? Eat the extra meal. Whatever the case may be that you're trying to get to that goal. So, like I said, that speaks on that confidence. Are you confident enough to, and this is life. This is not just on the fitness level. This is life. Are you confident enough when life gets hard or it gets hard, are you going to beat yourself down like, I'm going to just give up, like I'm getting depressed? Or are you going to say, look, we've been here before. You've been through worse stuff than this. Everybody's situation may be different. Your greatest day is somebody's worst day. Your worst day, is somebody's greatest day. So,
Right.
It's a cycle of life, man. That confidence, you got to have that confidence to just keep moving. And I feel like that transitions from if you are, building yourself up in the gym or building yourself, just living the best lifestyle you can live, whether it's fitness or whatever the case may be, health-wise, that carries over to the cycle of life because that creates discipline, that creates focus, confidence. I mean, it's everything, man. So
you saying that working out, that voice in your head, when the body is saying I can't do anymore, if you pour that same aspect into life, you're saying that it starts with training. Like with training can be
for me. I know I can't speak for everyone else. I mean, which some other people that I do know, have the same experience. They feel the same way. But I do feel like me personally, from my perspective, once you start to develop that, because like I said, it's just discipline.
Right.
Once you start to get discipline here in this aspect, the discipline gonna split up and to go in every other aspect of your life.
That's literally where it started.
Right. And
When you get up in the morning, I'm gonna go ahead and sleep in, man. I don't feel like getting up, man. I'm gonna hit that snooze.
right.
Or look, it's easy to do, Everybody do it.
Right.
Entrepreneurs who can't do that.
Like, look, you can't do that. You can't.
Yeah.
But like I said, even for entrepreneurship, though, look, that discipline carries over. You got to be disciplined enough to make the relationships, make the calls. Be able to create this relationship to get to where you want to be, man.
Right.
That's confidence. Confident in what you do, what you can deliver. So your service.
Absolutely.
Right. So that pours into something I wanted to ask you. Well, both of you are young.
Okay.
And so I'm going to say, as a young man, the discipline that you had to have to get to the point where you're at now. When your peer group is out having fun, they're going to the clubs, they're doing everything that they consider pleasure to themselves. What discipline do you apply to yourself to say that I'm going to give up having fun and I'm going to focus on business and my future?
Well, I mean, I didn't give up having fun. I just balance it well. Yeah, I still devil and dab. I ain't about to sit up and act like no saint.
But you're disciplined enough to know the when, the where.
Yeah,
and
absolutely,
the time.
absolutely.
Business first.
Business first. I can't ever say, I'm knocking wood. I can't ever say that the fun and the party and nothing like that inconvenient anything with business. So you get what you need to get done. Then the rest of your time you can dedicate towards your free time doing what you need to do. But you gotta know, you gotta be back up at this time, or I got this to do tomorrow. So that always comes first. But just being at a point in my life where I didn't have somebody to fall back on. Unfortunately, just my parental structure and stuff like that. So it's just like at a certain age, life reversed to where, you relying on people and people start being reliant on you.
Right.
So when that happens, then it's like, I can't take my foot off the gas, because you can't make that call and say, hey, I need to borrow this or this happened. I need to come move back in. It's like, nah. So it's like, me and you spoke about it. It's like walking, on that balance beam and not having no harness on and no net under you to catch you. So it's just like you having that mindset. It's just you got to be very cautious. Yeah, you got to be cautious. Every step you take is very strategic and stuff like that. Yeah.
But see, one thing I tell my kids, I told them for years, the work got to be done.
Yeah.
So if you do the work while you're young, and you make those sacrifices while you're young, and live the life that you want to have when you older. Because if you don't sacrifice at that younger age, when you get older, you're gonna sacrifice then.
Yeah, it's just
And then it's harder.
do it then and there.
Yeah. So if you do the work while you're young and you'll have the life that you'll live the life that you want to live while you're older.
The business I work in, I'm around a lot of, it's a different lifestyle to acquire a private chef. To really acquire a private chef. People having special events and stuff like that, but my, main clientele and my consistent clients, they are, beyond wealthy and stuff like that. So it puts another battery in your back to like, how we go get here? So, just being intrigued on how we go do that and trying to soak up as much game and knowledge that they go give you. So you got to get after it now. That's my.
Because when you're in that circle, it motivates you.
Yeah, so.
I'm big on being around people talking about stuff that I don't even know about. You know what I'm saying? Like, put me on some game. Like I was telling her earlier, look, what can I soak up from what you're saying?
If you're the smartest person in your circle, you gotta change it.
Right.
Problem.
Right.
That's kind of like what I was going through. Like, hey man, we still, but I'm aspiring to do some other stuff. So that's how you do it.
That's what an old man told me. If you're the best barber in the shop, you need to be in that little shop.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
Because you'll feel like you done topped out.
Yeah.
But
ain't nobody pushing. Ain't
no more push.
Right. So, and it stemmed to what my grandfather used to tell me. He used to always tell me, if I go to bed today and didn't know anything different than I do yesterday, then I'm no different than a dead man.
Yeah.
So like every day we should strive to add to ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And as you add to yourself, like I remember watching I Am Athlete, and they used to always talk about exposure. And so like the more you got to make yourself uncomfortable. Like if I'm comfortable all the time, I'm not learning. You know what I'm saying? So you got to put yourself in uncomfortable spots.
What we just say earlier, idle time and comfort is a disease.
It is, because you find yourself getting comfortable being idle because you relax. You're being lazy. And we want to be lazy because there's nothing wrong with I take lazy time sometimes, but that's after you put in the work.
Right. Which you should. That's recovery, though. That's the difference between recovery and then just being lazy. You know what I'm saying?
You gave me a different perspective.
What you say, getting to the money.
But I felt guilty I feel guilty sometimes when I'm being lazy because I'm laying there and I'm like, man, it's something else I could be doing. So you saying that, giving me a different perspective on saying it's recovery. Now you just took the guilt off of
You
it.
gotta have it.
Right.
You gotta have it.
You gotta
Yes,
have
sir.
it.
Recharge.
Yeah. So, you know, and we being men, and I could tell you, I'm older than you guys, so I could tell you that
A little bit.
just a little bit, not just a little bit, but like, you know, if you look at it from the perspective of while you're young, you have strength. You have, and so like, I find the relationships that I have with both of you, and I'm pretty sure Tony can attest to it with his younger client. It's like, this is the connection that we need in our community. We have the wisdom. So that wisdom and the relationships we have, we can share our experiences, and we can give you wisdom on decisions that you're making. So, you know, I want to give God the glory that I was able to meet you young men, because whether you know it or not, your aspirations, they drive me as well. Like, as we pour into each other, I get motivation. Because, you know, like, saying you do it at that age, I'm like, hey, if he going hard with that age and he don't have all the wisdom yet, what's my excuse for me having the wisdom and still having some of my youth where I can push myself? So I want to give you flowers on that. You know?
Sure, the same, you know, just bouncing that energy so we know stuff as young men that we can share to the older statesmen and they can utilize it. So the same way, we just bouncing energy back.
It's almost like the iPhone when you get an update. So you guys update us on what's going on. Yeah, what's going on with because I'm gonna be honest, if it wasn't for you talking about social media, in which I still don't use it like I should, but the whole birth of what we're doing now came from that concept of now this is a social media platform. Even though I'm not into social media, but this is the way I can pour into social media and reach people that's not in this room. So I want to
That's free advertising for one.
Right.
So if you can save a few dollars there. I mean, well, I can save a few dollars advertising social media, give me another pair of shoes. But
This man's crazy.
no, but hey man, social media is a great tool if you use it right.
Right.
Has it impacted you? How has it impacted you?
I mean, significantly. You know, I mean, people see, even my clients will post videos of us working out, you know, whatever the case may be. Somebody comment on it. Hey, what day is workout? What day is this? What, you know, what's going on?
Right.
And, well, you know, you got extra people to this.
So you're saying, all right, I'm gonna use this question to tie social media into lifestyle.
Okay.
So would you say by you post that drives people to want to add working out to their lifestyle, and the social media platform, when they see if you posting like the changes, this is how this person was when they started. Now, a few weeks into my program, this is now how they look, and you know, like when you look at photos when people are unhealthy, you can see an aura about them that's it's not sad, but I don't want to put a stigma on it, but I'm gonna say they don't look like that mental health, like they're suffering somewhere mentally, depression.
It's a lack of confidence.
Right, lack of confidence.
Lack of confidence.
And so, would you say that part of social media and that part of what you do as a trainer, that people can look at your workouts on the social media platform and it could change their lifestyle?
Absolutely. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just being consistent. You got to be consistent. I mean, you can look at the videos all day, but if you ain't willing to do it or make a change or come in and, you know, do whatever it takes, you're wasting your time. It's all about consistency. You got to be consistent. But revert back to what you said, and then you too, about how, you know, you can sense that aura about somebody that it's just they slouched over. I mean, you can just see it in them, like they're just depressed or whatever the case may be. It's not like a upbeat, like I got something positive going on type of thing.
Right.
So, I mean, yeah, man. I mean, I definitely feel like, you know, if you follow suit with, you know, the workouts or whatever the case may be, you'll definitely see some type of impact. Even in just to talk about the social media, you'll see clients or even people in general, men, I mean, start posting a little more flex, and you know, they start to see that muscle. That's how you know that confidence starting to build up slowly but surely.
Right.
Getting out of that comfort zone, or able to get out of the comfort zone because you know you put in the work to get out of the comfort zone.
And then you tied it into relationships.
Tying it to your
You
relationship.
got a confident man, you got a confident woman. So there's nothing that can stand in your way. Because, you know, the lack of confidence, sometimes you're unsure. And my partner can attest. Now, even people have called me arrogant throughout the years. Just gonna be honest, because when I speak, I don't say much outside of the shop. So when I sit down at the table, I'm so confident that whatever we're getting ready to do is gonna work. To where when they oppose themselves to what my idea of what I'm doing, I don't get aggressive, but I make it known that this is there's no the confidence that I have, and I have a healthy lifestyle as far as eating. I may not work out as much as I should, but I make sure that I get some workout in. So I can feed into what you're saying, because being confident is the most significant part of any business venture that you get into. Because if you go in with doubt, you best believe that
Don't start.
every enemy in the room, you're walking into the room with enemies, and your own enemy.
An ounce of doubt, don't start it.
Right.
An ounce of doubt.
And that's biblical, because, you know, like he in the word, it tells you that if you doubt, there's no, you know, paraphrasing, but if you doubt, there's no need to even go and ask him. Because if you don't believe, why should he believe?
Right,
So,
right.
and the same goes.
Yeah, that's good.
I don't want nobody around me to doubt
Right.
anything I got going on. That's why I don't, when it comes to something I got going on, I don't talk to a lot of people about it.
Right.
Because same way people will pray that you make it, you got people that pray them for your downfalls too.
And they have to pray all night.
Yes, sir. I'm talking about Patrick Ewing knee pads. The big knee pad. They got there praying.
Let's go to a conversation.
Man, I don't want Tez to make it. Then they see him on the jet. Man, I hate him. It ain't working. It ain't working.
So like, you know, that ties into a conversation that you and I had once when I was cutting your hair. How I was explaining, like, you know, we just having a conversation on, I'm an entrepreneur. A lot of my family are not entrepreneurs. So what am I going to talk to them about as far as being an entrepreneur? Because if I'm telling them that they're used to having that check coming in every week. So it's hard to explain to somebody that's got this security of the check versus you talking to somebody that if you don't get up, you don't eat. If you don't go hard, you know, you don't eat. And my biggest thing about being an entrepreneur was I have a problem with somebody telling me how I should live or what I should be doing. So from that perspective, if you tell me that I'm only gonna make $80,000 a year, I don't care how hard I work or how less I work, I got a problem with that. Because you just set a limit for my life. And so being entrepreneurs, and everybody, you know, can witness that the harder you go and the harder you work, that ceiling increases.
Yeah. The pressure, I feel like the pressure do it though. Because it's a pressure, like you said. If you don't work, you don't eat.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So especially, I mean, y'all as well. I don't know about you, Tez, but I have kids, so I have a family, you know. So look, you got to be able to, you know, get moving and get up.
You gotta get the words, drop the words off the words.
Just look, take your time, bro. Take your time. Bro.
I mean, I'm trying to put as much cushion there. As
Yes,
I
sir,
can.
most definitely.
So that's what it is. It's just trying to put as much cushion there as I can, man. Trying to get the best start I can. We have conversations about pretty much everything, but just that's what it is. You don't work, you don't eat.
Right.
And getting up in the morning and it's just a challenge. Like, can I be better than I was yesterday?
Right.
Or I hit this last year. Like, I'm trying to hit this, or I'm trying to upgrade on this. So, you know, I embrace the challenge. I like it. I mean, even my mom say, you know, she, like, hey, you be ripping and running, but I know you with an idle mind, you're not happy.
Right.
You know,
Right.
so it's something I embrace each and every day. I like just getting up and making the most out of every day, because I mean, we don't know how long we're gonna be here. So it's like, hey, if I go tomorrow, like, you gotta look at it like, hey, did I do as much as I can? You know, I procrastinated a lot in my life before, so it's just kind of like I wasted enough time. So let me get up and get it. So by the time we was just talking about when you retire, man, I'm like, by the time you hang it up, it's 40. I'm 40. I can do it.
Right.
But do I want to? No. But it's just like having that option to be like, I'm 40, 45. I can do it. I can do it, you know.
But I can tell you this from hindsight of my life. If I would have had the mindset that you have now, at 40 I could have retired. But the secret is something my grandfather told me. I'm always mentioning him. But something he taught me was, you get true freedom when you picture money sitting on the porch, drinking lemonade, and you walking out, going to work, and you coming home sweat. So money's made you a slave. So I'm learning now that if I can switch that role, if I can make money, go out and work, and I'm sitting on the porch sipping lemonade. So that point that you made at age 40, you said you really wouldn't have to go get it if you putting that money to work. You know what I'm saying? Because now you delegating. You got your operation running where you got other shelves, you got other locations, and so like hindsight, you know, like I can share wisdom with you on this. Where you at now, let that be your goals. Start putting, you know, have your little something to the side where you say, okay, in 5 years I'm gonna do this. In 5 years I'm gonna do that. Because when we started the shop, I'm behind the ball, but I got these things written down to where like, hey, 3 years from now I want to do this. Because my goal is, and he and I talk about it all the time, my goal is the next 6-7 years, I'm that man sitting on the porch.
Yeah.
And I want my money working so hard when he come in, I gotta carry him in. That Negro too tired to get in the bed. I gotta put him in the bed.
Yeah, and I don't know, you know, how much you're gonna testify, but it's just been learning. Right. When I come in here, it's not. I'm taking whatever y'all got to give me. I'm taking that. So it's just learning. Trying to figure out how to make that money work for it. Because when I was in school, they ain't teach me nothing about that.
They won't teach you. Nah.
It wasn't about that. Like when I got out of school and I started doing this, it was like hitting the reset button. Like, man, I was in school all this time. I ain't learned nothing about no taxes or no how to file this or write that off. I'm like, what is this? Yeah. My business got dissolved because I didn't know I had to file with the Secretary of State or nothing like that. I had to pay fee. So I'm like, that's what it is. That's just waking up every morning and trying to learn as much as you can, right? And soak up all that knowledge and one day put it to work. You know, save, put that aside, and one day, you know, you just reach the point where you feel as though you got enough knowledge to now make some pivotal moves and stuff like that. So that's the goal for me. You know?
Yeah, but I hear somebody say, man, I know a lot, but yet I know nothing. You know what I'm saying? So like you said, man, you just learning every day. How can I do this? How can I do that? How can I wiggle through life to, you know?
That's the perfect mind state to have. About I know nothing.
I know nothing.
Right.
Man. Be a sponge, man.
Right. It's because when you get to that point where you think you know everything, you the dumbest man alive.
Dumbest man alive.
Yeah. My son just started barber school.
You hear?
So.
From Trey?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the conversation we had is, am I done playing football? I don't know what else I want to do. So I was like, man, listen, you got your own life to live, but you also got a road that's already paid for you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You get into this, and you got somebody that can show you the way. You know what I'm saying? Or you can go by this wooded field, and then you got to cut your own path and pave your own road.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But like I told him, just go in there, they do the work. Barber school, they're gonna give you the basics of cutting, and they're gonna teach you how to pass the test. That's all they're gonna give you. They're not gonna show you bargaining, they're not gonna show you taxes, they're not gonna show you none of that. But that's what I'm here for. So we sit down and talk about it. You know, I talk about the books, we talk about cutting, blending, fading, like he bring his friends to the house. And I show him, and I was like, see, this is a lot of this stuff you're not gonna learn.
That's the game you got.
And that's what I'm here for.
Right. But I feel like that's what us fathers, us black fathers are important. You gotta have it.
You gotta be there.
You gotta be there to navigate it. Not saying you're gonna live that life form, because like you said, I like that the road already paid for you. But at the same time, I can guide you. I can lead you to this water. You drink it. If you don't want it, you do what you want to do with it. You can, look, you want to get dehydrated? Go over there then.
Go over there and exhaust yourself.
Hey, like I told you, man, get your license. You can come cut with me. Give me 2 years. I can put my 15 years of knowledge in you. 2 years if you pay attention.
Right.
And then I help you open your own shop. Right. But you got to start somewhere. You got to start somewhere.
Yeah. And I'm listening at you guys talk. I'm seeing a problem in society. Like, we all went to school. You know, you guys y'all went on to college, and nothing is getting us ready to go out here and be successful. It takes my experience and your experience and just what we're doing now. This is what breeds success, because I can pour into you my aspect of business. You pour into me your aspect of business. And this is what I feel our community needs. Our community need black men. And you mentioned father, like everybody in this room has a father. But why would we not share fatherly advice with each other?
Right.
You know, like there's nothing wrong with me, you know, like you telling me, even though you're younger than me, there's nothing wrong with you telling me, hey, Rice, I feel like, man, well, I got a problem with time. I'm gonna go put it out there. You know, like I always tell y'all, like I live according to the sundial, not the clock. So I'm gonna say that, like, there's nothing wrong with, like, say for example, if you have an appointment that you have to see after you leave shop, same for you. If you're on a strict timeline, then I won't get offended if you were to say, hey, right, man, I got to be such, and I need to get in at this exact time. You know, just an example of how I take that, I don't take that personal, and vice versa. We as men just talking to each other. We need to learn how we can make each other more successful. So if you can see a way to pour into me and make me more successful, by all means, I'm not a man that's gonna get offended, because you know we talk about it all the time. When you're doing business, and this goes for any business venture or anything that you're dealing with,
Ain't no feelings.
ego is only useful in sports.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So and you know, I like to put that brand on things. Like when we doing business, it's business. There's no word that you can say that should offend me, because at that point you're thinking about my family. You're thinking about my success. Right. So you know, I want to put that out there. You know, we have these conversations all the time.
Pride and ego will kill you.
Every time.
They'll kill you, bro.
Something I had to get through. Like,
I feel like as a man, you got to get through that. Like, you got to be able to put that pride down, put that ego down. You don't.
yeah,
Struggle. You're gonna struggle going through life.
Because at the end of the day, I mean, you think about the moments where you were prideful or you did let ego get in.
Life humbles you.
When you get to yourself, it's like yourself. That's when yourself saying, "Man, you know you should have did this," or "Man, you know you shouldn't have said." So at that moment, you know, I'm learning not to listen to me at those moments. You know,
Last night when we was out at the comedy show, that's what one of the dudes said. Think first, fall back, take a breath, and think about it. Right? Because the heat of the moment, your ego, your pride, they'll put you in a situation where now you might be locked up. You might have had a fight with your lady, and now you sitting in the room like, man, why I say that? Man, why I do that?
Right.
And now it's too late.
yeah.
So if you take that moment, you sit back and think and let go of your pride and your ego.
Sir, what happened?
Was I know we was talking about it, but I did want to ask you, just as another entrepreneur, do you think school impacted, you know, where you are now?
Well, for my field, it gave me the knowledge. I would say like the basic knowledge. But as for like just the relationships, just the outside that school don't teach you, can't teach you how to, you know, fill out tax forms. I mean, learning the ins and outs of tax write-offs, business. I mean, whatever the case may be. I don't feel like school helped. You know.
But see, the thing is, school can teach you.
Right. I feel like what you utilize it. I mean, whatever your field is. If you're a doctor, of course you need it. You know.
Right.
I mean, like I said, for my field, yes, it did give me the basic knowledge on, you know, how to assess this person's things they might be dealing with. So, you know, yes, but the outside of that, man.
Yeah. I mean, but see, school, I don't feel school is to teach you life.
Right.
can't.
No, like they can have a finance class, they can have a tax class, but if they give that to you while you're in school, that'll disrupt the word. Because then you won't have to take tax classes to do taxes. You won't have to take marketing class. So if they teach it all to you in school, they'll lose money on the back end.
Right.
So it sounds like me.
And it'll set you up. That'll set you up for success.
Yeah.
Right.
Because, I mean, I was in school, and I don't take back my experience because, you know, I took a lot out of my experience. I met a lot of people and stuff like that, so I don't take back the experience. But, you know, what I did, like I said, I feel like I hit the reset button. Like, I was just kind of like, Well, I've been in this school for a little minute. I actually learned this, but we do need the doctors and the lawyers and the attorneys and engineers, like, you know. So we do need that, but I would just advise, if you gonna make that decision, that know what you're getting yourself into. And I can't tell you how many people I know, how many girls I know who went to school and now they in like beauty and cosmetics, you know, and doing the lashes and the hair and stuff like that.
A lot of barbers that get.
Yeah, I was about to say barbers, or, you know, I joke with my sister all the time. My sister went to Spelman and she graduated with a psychology degree, and she works in entertainment production. And she, you know, it's just a little family joke. So I'm like, you gotta know what you know, and it's messed up at 18 that you gotta make that decision. That is one thing I disagree. Like, we still kids and your brain ain't even developed. Right.
I never say don't go.
Yeah, I wouldn't say
especially if,
just know.
If what you want to be, if you know what you want to be, and you got to go to college, go to college.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? But if you don't know, like I tell a lot of kids that come in here graduating, like, what you doing? I don't know. I don't know. We get that. Bro, listen, go barber school 10 months. You know what I'm saying?
Get a trade.
Electrician.
Get a trade.
Plumber. Like, do something. You can find something you can do with your hands, and that way you can get out here, go to work, learn the business, and then you can work on your own, or you can get that side money. Because once you learn how to do something with your hands, you'll always be able to make a dollar, and that's some knowledge they can't take from.
My lady came home one day and said something bad. She said something real crazy that it stuck with me. Her alliance lady actually told her. She was like, any service you have, you want to always succeed. Any service you can offer to the public, you want to always succeed. Right. Awesome, man. That's deep.
If you know how to maneuver.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, I mean, the school thing interesting. But yeah, I would say if you don't know, don't go in, because it's expensive.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Still paying in debt.
Yeah, so don't go and just do it. I mean, it's an outlet for certain people. I know I kind of use it like that. Like, I just want to get out of here.
Right.
Because you get stuck in the city. So I'm glad that I was able to go and meet new people from different walks of life and experience that. And I think it's a little bit of time you got to just figure life out a little bit. So it's not a terrible thing, but just know what you're getting yourself into. Have a good idea or a good plan in place and stuff like that.
And so from the parent perspective,
You paying for it.
right, we're paying for it. But it's the final phase of me seeing my children. Because for that one time, they got freedom that they didn't have.
Yeah.
They can go and come. So I could see, well, my wife, she's a hawk. She's going to look at them grades and she's going to see where them kids at all times. So with that happening, I'm able to see, are they about their business or is this playtime? And then I'm looking to see if you can balance having that responsibility of being on your own. So it gives me a little more time to sit back and try to fix it before I just release her into the world. So that's my perspective, you know, how it works for us. But at the same time, I totally agree that some people just go to school for the experience. And and that's an expensive experience if it works, but I truly do believe that looking at what you went to college for and what you're doing, does that give you did that play the role? You went for business, right? So you having that business background, does that make it easier for you as far as like when you run across a client and they try to run game, that business that you have, that immediately your spider senses start taking?
I wouldn't attribute that to school because I used to think school, business, you had to be in a suit in the top. Right. I walk around like this. Right. So I wouldn't attribute school to that. My dad was an entrepreneur, so I was able to watch him and how he conducted business and see the things that he did right and the things that he did wrong. And I really attribute a lot of that. But as far as school, it teaches you how to be a great employee. Right. It didn't teach me how to be a business owner. The most I think I learned in school, they taught you LLC, C Corp, S Corp, sole partnership. Right. That was really it. Basically. Yeah, it was just that. So experience to say. Right. Yeah, it was just that. Right. So I wouldn't attribute, how I deal with clients and my business acumen to school. I would just say life experiences, looking at what other people did well and did wrong and kind of basing it on that.
So how many businesses, how many other businesses do y'all look at? Like me, I go on CC's, right? Hey, welcome to CC's. Everybody yelling, welcome to CC's. So I adopted that. I don't yell at them, welcome to Klippah Talk, but I be like, hey, what's going on? Welcome to the barbershop.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? How many other businesses you look at and learn from as far as, yeah, I'm going to do that with mine, or I'm not going to do that with my business?
Big time. I mean, and really, I used to work in food, so I kind of understand it. But really, food, you see that a lot to where you walk into a restaurant, and I feel offended when I walk in and you don't greet me.
Right.
Like, I really feel offended. I'm like, I'm coming and paying, but at the same time, this is basically your temporary hospitality at the moment. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm walking into your hospitality, and you don't greet me. So I take that, like you said, as a no-go. Like, nah, I can't do that. I mean, I understand that'll probably affect my business, or a potential client may feel some type of way and not come back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So definitely look at that. But anytime I go out and I see someone greet and just feel joyful, because I'm like, man, they working this job, not doing or don't have the freedom or ability to be able to do what I'm doing.
Right.
And they feel this way. Why should I feel it? Well, why can't I go over the top a little more or go up a little more? You know what I'm saying? So,
because ultimately they doing it for CC's.
Right.
They doing it for Tyler.
Right.
Yes, sir.
And so, saying that, so that implies leave whatever you got going on at the door before you walk in.
Yes, sir.
Because that's something that I've noticed as a barber, working around other barbers over the years. They'll walk in there with whatever they got going on in their life, and that energy just rages through the shop. And I've seen clients come in perky, sit in that man's chair, and when they leave, they're like, he drained them. You know what I'm saying? So, as being entrepreneurs, we carry that. I'm not going to say the burden, but no matter what you got going on in your life, that thing cannot transpire over into your business.
Yeah.
Because the minute it does, it's going to affect that money.
Fall back under your discipline, though.
It's hard. It's easier said than done.
Yeah.
It's something, I feel as though we probably do well, but that's something why a lot of people probably don't succeed in business because they let too much of the outside world, baby mama trauma, whatever the case, come. Yeah. Like, for instance, what I do, we cater just some way. So what if I had a rough week, but this something they was looking forward to? And it's like, I don't care about what you got going on today.
Right.
Like, I done spent all this money. Like, come here and do what you got to do. So you got to understand that. Like, it's like these people don't, it kind of dehumanize you because it make you emotionless in a certain way.
Right.
But at the same time, this sound up. So,
feelings in business.
That's it.
I got clients and it's game days and I can't be, oh man, I had a rough week. It's like, man, I play LeBron tonight, man. Like, I gotta be focused.
Yeah,
man.
I need your energy to be.
Yeah, so it's like you gotta take that. Sometimes I sit in the car and I take a deep breath and you gotta put that smile on and stuff like that. But like I said, it does kind of dehumanize you because a lot of people think you become just too cold and too solid, but you just so conditioned to be like that.
Right.
So it's way easier said than done.
One thing I do notice that if you run your business like a business and you love what you do, that when that day come and you had to sit in your car and take that moment to breathe, when you go in there, bro, I use cut hair as a stress relief. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Cause you ain't thinking about
it. Yeah, like the only thing I'm focused on is giving this man the best service I can give him. So if it be, I don't wear earbuds because I think that's
it's a little rude.
You know what I'm saying? But I had a song playing in my head. You know what I'm saying? And me personally, I give what I get from a client. So if I got a client that's sitting in my chair that's a talker, I'm gonna talk. But sometimes they don't want to talk. They just want to come in here and get their service and just relax, so they can clear their mind. They might be going through,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? So they might just come in here for a service just to clear their mind. So I give them that service, and I think I like that kind of client especially when I'm going through it. So that way that song can play in my head while I'm giving this service, and I can decompress. I can let that stress go.
But I learned a lesson, and you know, I talked to you about it before, but I learned a lesson. Like, I had a client in the chair one day. He was going through something, and this was when I've been in the barber game maybe 2-3 years. I didn't have the people skills that I have now, and I let this man sit in my chair, and I'm having crazy thoughts going through my head. That, you know, I was talking to my partner about it at the time, Mr. Mike Wallace, and he was like, "Bro, you spiritual. So what you was doing, what was going through his mind was coming through you." So a few hours later, turn on the TV, this man left my chair and went and did something crazy.
Oh, wow.
You know, so, but that's why, you know, like now, regardless of what I'm going through in my personal life, I put that to the side. Because, you know, we say it all the time. However you come in here, that ain't how you gonna leave.
Yeah.
And y'all, you know, y'all can witness. Man, we laugh, joke, we have a good time. If you come in feeling bad, it's my goal to change that, just tweak it just a little bit. Because I don't know what you're going through. And this man went and really did something crazy.
Wow.
And so I felt like, and I carry that burden to this day, because I felt like if I would have came out of myself, and that's what taught me to give myself away all day. So now my goal is, when somebody come in and they depressed, they feeling bad, or they looking crazy, because I read auras as you hit the door.
Yeah.
So when I see an aura, I'm like, hey, I got to read. And sometimes they'll sit in the chair and they'll be stubborn. They don't want to do it. So man, I get to cracking jokes, so I turn something on TV to alter their mind.
Yeah. Yeah, no, man. I must have loved
As you walk through the door and I see your face ain't right, I'm gonna throw a joke out there. Man, don't come here. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
Right, yeah.
You woke up this morning.
People don't know how much pressure it is as entrepreneurs, because I know you got to speak on your behalf, because I'm not sure, but I know probably us three, we don't really even have time for no kind of mistake.
Right.
Because you can't give a bad haircut, or they go look for.
Because that's advertising. I mean,
they haircut leaning, they ain't coming back in here.
Right.
And if I put out some bull crap on the table, they ain't coming back to me.
Right,
So it's like you don't even have no
margin
time
error.
or, it's no error what we do.
Well, I feel the same way. I mean, to a certain extent. I mean, prime example, I was just training a high school athlete this morning. He's trying to get faster. And season coming up. I mean, look,
You don't have too much time to
Yes,
waste,
sir.
yeah.
No time to waste. We got to get it. You know what I'm saying? So definitely, got to make sure you're on point with your service.
So what's hard about your business is you can give 100%. You can give 100%, and they can give 100% with you. But once they walk away,
Right.
and they don't have the discipline,
Yeah.
it still fall back on you.
Right, on me. And that's why I spoke on it earlier, man. My ultimate goal, you know, is to impact my clients to have as much discipline or as much willpower to, you know, stay consistent when I'm not there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that goes with the energy thing.
Right.
Are you upbeat? You know, are you motivating? You know, I've seen it in the past, or I've seen it now, to where, you know, you got those trainers, and everybody's different. Everybody got their own training style. But, you know, I do a lot of boot camps personally. So I got a room, you know, it might be 10, it might be 15, it might be 3, whatever the case may be. Whether it's 3 or 15, you still got to bring the same energy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and I feel like, you know, that just carries on to when you're not with me, how would Tyler be saying? What would Tyler be saying? You know, is he telling me to keep going? You know, is he telling me, you know, you got this? Whatever the case may be. So,
Do you make yourself available for your clients outside of that training time? Like if one of your clients was going out for the weekend, like he's going away for the weekend, and y'all got this routine going out. Well, like you eat this many times a day. Like he off on vacation for the weekend, but he's still trying to hang on to a little bit of the routine.
Oh, all the time.
Can he hit you up?
I'll be on anytime. And look, stay consistent. Remember what you're doing. You know, remember what your goal is. This pleasure. Do you want pleasure? Or do you want, you know, profit? I call it profit or results. Right. You want a profit or result. So,
Yeah, I like that.
I got one question for you, because I remember one time we was talking in the chair, and you got to talking about where your drive to be a chef, what the recipes and some of the flavors that you create when you do your food. Like, who was that inspiration? Was it more of your mother, or those? I think it was the recipes that y'all found from your grandma, right?
Who the stupid lamb busting?
So my grandma, Miss Bernice Tolliver, she owned a small but successful catering company in a small town, Harrisonburg, Virginia. So it's a few miles from like West Virginia. So they up there. It's in a valley there. So that's where it inspired from. She passed before me or any of my siblings was born, but they all said we got strong characteristics from her. In the cooking thing, they was like, that's all her. Even my mom, she said the way y'all do stuff, she was like, that's all her. So growing up, it was digging through all of her recipe boxes and me and my mom laying them out, and she saying, okay, we're gonna do this on Tuesday, we're gonna do this on Wednesday. So that's what it was. So that inspired me to really, it let me know that I could really do it. Like my grandma had a catering company way back when TVs was black and white. Like I can do it now. So that's where it really came from. And just being a junkie in the kitchen, just love being in the kitchen. So it was either that or football. I was like, I'm gonna go this way.
Let's wait and tell the
Oh really?
Yeah, my pops a cook. Yeah, I was cooked in the army, cooked all. Okay. So I was a cook. I cooked a lot. I learned from him. You know what I'm saying?
That's why he always challenged a few things.
That's why he challenged. You come at you like I come at. But nah, when I got laid off in Freightliner, I sat down and it was like barber school culinary, because I love to cook. And it was like barber school culinary. I chose barber school because I was like, I don't really need to go to school for culinary. I can learn how to cook over here.
Right.
So I look at a lot of stuff. And one thing my pops always told me was taste your season. Like taste dry season to see. All right.
Like flavor palette.
Yep. So is that how you
No, I don't do it quite that way. But
you don't do it that way.
Nah, but I mean just kind of tasting as you go. So you gotta know it's a feeling. When you're cooking, it's a feeling. So you gotta know this need a little bit more of this, that need a little bit more of that. Or you gotta be careful because once you put it in, you can't take it out.
Right.
But I mean, even having to learn how to dilute something, if you do, it's too much of that. We gotta balance it out and stuff like that. So I didn't go to school for that, but I worked for some big corporate catering companies, and that was like school. I was doing that and learning a lot about the culinary space, and I had some great executive chefs that taught me a little bit about the culinary space, that taught me a little bit about the business. Like, you cooking, but what's your overhead? How much it costs you to make this? What's your profit margins back on it? Stuff like that. And that's when I'm like, all right, it's a whole bunch more I gotta dive into and stuff like that.
So experience is better than school.
I mean, it's worked out for me. I can't say for everybody, but yeah, I take the experience, over that.
Because if you can learn hands-on, you can learn, because learning hands-on, you learn more than what you learn at school, because you learn your profit margins versus you learn all that other stuff that school ain't going to teach you. School just going to show you how to plate food, how to cook food, how to make it look good.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But they ain't going to show you the background.
Well, even culinary school, they don't teach you necessarily how to be, they teach you how to be a great chef in somebody else's kitchen, in somebody else's establishment. Most people go and try to get a job at a fine dining place or at a resort, these nice hotels. But, and that's great. But I always knew I wanted to run and operate my own. That was something. Yeah, man. But I do have one little question. When you was coming up as a black man, did they kind of push sports on you? Because I know you probably said you was into sports and stuff like that. Is that the only way people felt that you was gonna make it?
Yeah, no. I'll say yeah, no. I mean, my mom was always strict on me about grades. So yeah, she was always like, look, you ain't doing this, you ain't gonna be able to do this. These grades. So I was always kind of trying to stay on top of my grades. But definitely looked at kind of sports as an outlet though. Definitely.
I think that pushed all of us.
Yeah, I was just saying that was another battery in my back that I wanted to succeed without,
break the stereotype.
Yeah, it's just like I don't gotta sing and dance or play on nobody court or field. It was just, and me being, I ain't a huge guy, but I was always just a big kid. So anywhere we was going, to the barbershop, restaurant, what team you play for, right?
Yeah.
So even now, I'm in nice places and people will ask you, get that feeling. It's just like, nah, you can make it without
Right,
doing that.
right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So I mean, one like for me, when I quit school, bro, that was the worst and best time, cause I didn't get that pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Like, man, you need to be on the football field. We doing this. We need to be doing that. Like, I didn't get that cause I wasn't in school no more.
Yeah.
So, but it made me, damn, what do I want to do?
Right.
So it was like a 4 or 5 year span of I quit school, I dropped out, now I gotta figure this out.
Right.
So I met my wife, and that was a little motivation. Then I went back, got my GED and worked a couple jobs, and I was like, this ain't it. Like, man, you go in there, you bust, but $10 an hour
Somebody else.
for somebody else.
Making somebody
I
else.
strongly believe, and this is a message to any parent who's got a kid that's an athlete and irresponsible. If you make them work a 9 to 5 for a summer, I promise you that'll make them take that sport or that thing that path you put them on, they take it more serious.
Much more.
Because when you got the pressure of,
I'm gonna tell you what, though. I played sports, so I wouldn't have to work a 9 to 5 sometimes. Stay busy, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
what you doing? I'm about to go here, so that way you don't have to work.
because that pressure, I always looked at it like, and I would tell it when I was an employee, man, I would tell them like, hey, look, man, you ain't paying me enough for what you trying to put me.
Right. Slavery.
Right. Like these little $16, $17, $20 an hour I was getting at that time when I was younger. I'm like, bro, $20? You stressing me for $20?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
That sounds crazy though. It takes an hour of my day is worth $20.
right.
That sounds crazy.
It does.
And it's not more so the money. It's like, man, you know what y'all got me doing in this hour? What you putting up through?
But it's a little bit of money.
Man,
But-
I was sitting at the. It was one of the moments where I was kind of like, a proud moment. I just finished up doing some downtown in a penthouse, real nice dinner. I went into the diner and I'm just getting a little full. I was sitting there and I didn't even have my phone on me because I thought I was gonna go in and grab it, come back out. I was sitting there, just people watching and listening to their conversation. I'm like, man, I'm blessed and I don't have to be in this.
Right.
This, they was arguing about, I gotta leave to go catch the bus right here.
Right.
We blessed and fortunate.
Right.
I feel like we need that, though, to just kind of, even if you feeling high one day, man, just bring you back.
Yeah, it was one of the moments.
That's one of the gratification moments because, I mean, to be in the position that we're in, we're blessed. And, I give God the glory for, when I end my day, and my day consumes with, this is what gets me up out of the bed. I don't want an alarm clock because if I need an alarm clock to tell me take care of my family, I got problems. Yeah. So my motivation is I don't use an alarm clock.
Mind throwing shots at you.
I was say, I ain't that. It's a nice little reminder.
3-4 times.
I was going to hit school with the first two.
What I upset this, man. I apologize.
Smack me while I'm
But I'm saying is like,
I don't need no alarm clock.
this is my mindset. My mindset is that bird wakes up like clockwork. And that bird doesn't have an idea where he's gonna go get that worm. He don't even know if he's gonna come back with a worm, but he got these babes chirping that need him. So that's my physical mind frame is I gotta get up early and I gotta get up and go get this worm and bring back to these birds chirping at my house.
But see, I feel like that's a pressure, man, that don't nobody talk about, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, one, I mean, coming back home, I mean, even for yourself, I mean, you don't have a family yet, but like, just for you. But I mean, I feel like when you got a family like us, wife, kids, whatever the case may be, it's an extra pressure. Even at being a black man, like, just a man in general, it's an extra pressure because now you like, I got other people relying on me, man. Like, there's somebody that's really relying on me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I feel like that's a pressure, man, that if you can kind of distinguish, even for the business like us entrepreneurs, if you could distinguish that personal pressure from your business, I feel like that's when your business is starting to kind of just elevate.
Right.
Because as a husband and a father,
Yeah.
the worst feeling you will ever have is to come home and somebody needs something and you can't supply.
You feel that beat.
Man, listen, that's the worst feeling in the world. Like
Right.
when I had to call my dad and be like, hey man, listen, I gotta get some diapers. Can you help me out?
Yeah.
Man, he was like, why ain't you been calling me? Like, bro, that's not your responsibility.
Right.
But I called because now I'm at the very bottom. Like, so of course he brought me a box, but he gave me the money to get a box.
Yeah.
But that was that time I was like, this will never happen again.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I got a moment. Like, I remember me and my wife were young. We had 3 kids. And what I thought was going to take care of us, my past job, I wasn't working it anymore. So, like, we got to the point where we didn't even have enough money to get diapers. We had to use cloths. We had to go back old school. And so, like, I made a vow to God then. I said, if you pick me up, and you give me an avenue, I never wind up like this again.
Yeah. Okay.
And, you know,
That's tough.
but it take moments in life, like,
Though.
you think about how many times we've been blessed, how many times we've had money. But when you get them large amounts of money, you forget about the struggle. You know what I'm saying? So I embrace moments like that, because once you have those moments, the world is this big.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But when you can see the world this big, that means that there's a lot for you to go get. But we got to come out of this tunnel vision, and not us, but I'm saying so many people are trapped in tunnel vision where they just seeing here. I'm trying to see like an owl. I'm trying to see behind me, and because I feel like everything is in my grasp, and that's the concept that I have now. Like, you know, sometimes people tell me, man, what you're saying is crazy. And my wife tell me all the time, I just won't accept no. And I want to pour into each and every one of you, don't accept no. Because when you accept no, you don't let somebody set a boundary for you. There's no boundary that can be set by anybody but you. The word I can't is take the C off. I ain't. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let me ask you this. With that being said, me, I look at it, you talk about it a lot, that we go hard for our family.
Right.
Like me personally, my thing is, I want to make it easier for y'all, but I don't want to make it too easy, because I seen a TikTok video that said tough times build strong men.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But strong men make weak boys.
Yeah. I seen
Right. I can say this with my youngest son. I can look at him, and the boy got an amazing drive. I never really had to tell him to get money. Even when I thought he wasn't getting money, he done got with his friends and he's selling something online. So, excuse me. So the thing, what I would say about that is,
bet online to somewhere else.
yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. So like, I told him about my past. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people try to hide their past from their kid. But I told him about my past, but I told him from the perspective of not a glorious side. It's like I told him from the perspective of this was when I wasted my time. You know what I'm saying? But I don't take anything back from that, because that's what made me who I am now.
Bitch.
But I'm pouring into you, don't take this path, but get money. Right. And each one of my kids, you know, coming up, me and my wife, we were strong on teaching them how to establish a business. Like they had a little lemonade stand that progressed in them selling chips. Then the boys, they would tutor, they would cut grass, they would clean people driveways and stuff on the ice. So the entrepreneurship was there. And we didn't know what we was doing as far as when they got older, we made them get jobs. But hindsight, teaching your kid what we was talking about, a trade or business early, they develop a business mind. So when they go on these jobs, and I'm not and I don't want anybody to think I'm disrespecting any person, you know, my age or that's an adult that's working in fast food. I'm not discrediting them, but I'm saying when you put a child in an environment where they see that these people, this is their last alternative. You know what I'm saying? This right here is how they feed their family now. You know what I'm saying? So that lets them know that not to waste my youth. You know what I'm saying? And so going back to what you were saying about, you know what I'm saying, strong fathers make weak boys, it's our responsibility. You teach them to struggle by talking about what you went through. A lot of parents want to hide the moments when they weren't who they are now. They want to seem like that perfect parent. If you make your kids think that you're perfect, they gonna fail because they're trying to be perfect. We're imperfect beings. We talk about it all the time. One eye, one eye is higher than the other. One eyebrow is longer than the other. One cheekbones. There's nothing perfect about our physicals. So why do we try to portray perfect lives? Let your children know, your parents, we made mistakes. But my job is to make sure that you don't make the same mistakes that I did. A lot of people you got to let them learn. No, that's insanity that we keep making the same mistakes generation after generation. And being a man, sometimes you got to stand on that. And how to make the boys stronger is, right? The more money we make, we tend to give without a purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like they didn't earn it. And that's where a lot of us get to that point where we're giving without earning. Now, I would always tell my kids no, even though I'm gonna do it. But when I tell them no, I give them projects to do. If they complete them projects, they earn that. You know what I'm saying? And so, we got to get back to teaching our children to earn it. And I remember coming up, man, you didn't wear nice clothes till you were going somewhere. Now we letting our kids go out and play in these Jordans that you buy.
You come home and take your school shoes
right.
off.
And so,
take your clothes out.
And learning from that, our parents was teaching us to struggle. Like, you put this on when we going somewhere. When you come home, you put on the play clothes. So we have to start teaching value. We got away from teaching value.
Come on, grass stain in one of the pants to see what happens.
Well, it's instant gratification too, though.
Right.
People want it.
They want it.
They don't want to go through the process. But
microwave.
I'm not a father, but I know what Tony said, coming in the house and not being able to provide, probably the worst part. But I know how it feels not to have it when he came out. When you need something.
Right.
So that's a motivating factor for me. Just putting as much cushion there, so it's like I can when
right,
whenever it's needed. And one thing, my pops wasn't perfect by no means. We got a touchy relationship, but he did teach me, hey, we gotta hustle, we gotta go get it. That was something he showed me. He was like, when I graduated high school, I didn't go straight into school, so it was like, yo, come with me. And
right.
So I was able to just like, I look at my parents and how they raised me, it was like, it's a test. And
right.
With the process of elimination, you can always rule out two. So I saw what they circled, and I'm like, well, they ain't get A right, so C ain't it. So it gotta be B or D. So
right.
That's how I look at life.
Right.
It's like, so I'm gonna take my chances with one of these two because they already showed me what they got right and what they got wrong. So,
right.
Process of elimination.
Nothing I learned. I was like Rice, but I didn't say no. You know what I'm saying? My phrase is, we'll see.
Right.
We'll see.
Right.
And they always getting it. My son, I need such and such. Can you cash out $25?
Cash out, a terrible thing. Y'all right.
I see what I can do.
Yeah.
But in that time, and Rice done heard this story probably 1,000 times. We were talking in the shop where it was a time me and my pops went to Foot Locker. And he was like, pick out your shoes. Like, all right. So I picked out the shoes. Like, yeah, that's what you want? All right, go. Dude went and got the shoes, tried them on. It's like, yeah, this is it. He was like, that's what you want? All right, boom. Go to the register. He got ready to ring them up. My pops was like, hold on. How long can you hold them shoes? And it was like 2 days. He was like, all right, we'll be back. I'm looking at him like, what's going on? Well, we got out of Foot Locker. We walking down the hall. I was like, Daddy, what's up? He said, man, I don't pay $60 for no shoes. So we left the mall. And right over here in this neighborhood, we got stopped. It was an old man and Mr. Johnson. So he used lawnmowers and stuff. He bought me a used lawnmower, gave me a gas can. It was like, yo, you bring me $40 and we'll go get them shoes. You got 2 days.
Right.
So
I like that.
I went and got them shoes. I went and got them $40, so I got the shoes. But my kids didn't
like
get that.
Right.
My kids got, Daddy, we need some shoes. And now I'm in the Foot Locker spending $1,000 because I'm buying every last one of my kids some shoes because I don't want to show favoritism.
Right.
So it was crazy.
Right.
You know, so
Hey, man.
you gotta teach those lessons so they'll feel a little struggle or they'll know the value of money. And that's one thing where I feel with my kids, but now I'm starting to teach them. It's a little harder because they older, but they gonna learn.
Yeah,
I got mine trained, but my 4-year-old, he go to the store. I don't know about that. The price like, oh, it's too expensive. All right, I'll get something else. I'm like, yeah, teach you young, boy.
Yeah. And that's important.
Got to.
Because it goes back to what we were talking about earlier. Like, how can you save if you don't know the value of money? Right. You know, like, and I have a philosophy too, where like, if I see something, say it just came out, I see it, I'll be like, okay, it costs $300. Let me set $50 to the side. So my goal is, I'm gonna get this item, but I'm not gonna spend it at one time. I'm gonna put 50 to the side, and in 6 weeks, I got $300. When you go back, the crazy thing is, now this item I'm gonna save. So I save, that's something that we got to get out of. Is now there's certain things that you're gonna get right then.
Impulse buying.
Yeah, but we have to get into that discipline where we know that when you know the value of money, the time we put into our craft, it's hard, man, to stand on my feet. We in here sometimes 12, 14, 15 hours. Like it, and so it's hard for me to just let that money go on an object when you don't put that blood, sweat, and tears in.
Same way. It's hard for me to give it to somebody.
Right.
I mean, coming into a different position now in my life, it's like I'm in a space to help, but it's like just giving you this.
Yeah.
What the old man say, I'd rather teach you how to fish.
You're right.
But it's just making the right decisions. Like I can't because just giving it to, I need to hold this, because that ain't gonna do nothing. It's just gonna deplete me before I get to where I need to go. If I just deplete all my resources, we done ran out. Now we now we back to where we was at.
And it's crazy you said that because Tony, I'm gonna tell this story. Like me and Tony, we was talking one day, and it's crazy we had that conversation, and he went through it. I was like, hey man, I'm learning that sometimes, man, everybody's giving what they need to take care of what they got to take care of. But what happens is sometimes instead of taking care of the needs, they stop by the store. They might get them a little drink. They might go get them a little smoke. Okay, you didn't take care of what you got to take care of. Took care of your pleasures first. So now you're coming up short. Now they calling. A lot of people watch your pockets and know your money better than you. You know what I'm saying? So they'll hit you up. Like, they'll hit you up like, hey man, I'm running a little short this week, man. I need a favor. And people take me as rude, but I'll be like, how you get there? You know what I'm saying? I'm asking you, how did you, because I'm not being rude, I'm just trying to help you trace the steps and show you at what point where you went wrong. You know what I'm saying? So like, a lot of people get offended, but you asking me, I'm not asking you. So, but goes back to like, Tony had a homeboy hit him up. We had a conversation. I was like, I'm learning that when you loan people money and they doing bad with their money, bro, that falls on you. Cause like, picture you discipline your son, and in the midst of you discipline your son, a stranger walk by and like, man, you shouldn't be doing that. Mm-hmm. That's God looking at us. God teaching them that, hey man, you shouldn't be blowing your money. Here I come, Mr. Hero. God, leave them alone, huh, man? Go ahead, do what you got to do. Tony did it. This man had what you had about refrigerator,
and not long after that, a TV.
I was just faced with that not too long ago. A friend called me and asked me for a 4-digit number.
Right.
And I had to think on it, but I gave it to him. But I asked him like, I mean, how you,
right?
But I mean that's something that made me go hard because I can't call nobody ask for no 4-digit.
Can't.
I can't. No. So it's like, when I need to borrow, my borrow ain't gonna be
right.
So it's like I gotta go ahead and put that cushion because I can't call nobody ask for no 4-digit.
But
the fact that
You
They
know,
knew they could count your pockets.
But the crazy part about it is, I'm in a situation where I can, but I don't never want to put myself in that situation where I gotta call and be like, hey, yo, pops, like, can you help me out?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I burned him enough when I was young.
Crutch.
You know what I'm saying? So,
If a man develop a crutch, he gonna mess up one of his legs.
that's it.
You know, because like you may not go as hard, or you might blow more money than you should because like I call my man.
Yep.
And that's a bad practice to get into.
Yeah.
You know, and like, but I'm gonna be honest, man. Like, what I'm learning is that stop lending people what they asking you for. Because you got to look at it like this: if somebody asks you for something, I don't mind helping. Somebody hit me up, hey man, I need $300. Okay, I'm gonna give you 100, and you ain't got to pay me back, cause you already struggling. So you got all you need now is 200. So whatever you going through, you 100 in the good already. Cause if you let them borrow it and they don't pay it back, you gonna feel a certain kind of way. You know, but I've also developed the mind state. That's why I say I give it to you, give you what I can afford to lose, versus giving you what you asked for. Because I'm helping you, and I'm still helping you. It may not be what you want, but you don't own it. Because I don't want to break blood. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and you know, but it's so crazy, man, that where we have to, as a community, when we learn the value of money, I won't put you in a bad situation. Because I know, you know what I'm saying, we got to get back to looking at each other as brothers. We got to get back to looking at each other as family. Because I won't hurt you if I look at you as family. But you think about how many times we don't look at each other.
put the jealousy right though. You're looking at it as competition instead of, you know, my brother or
Right.
you know, somebody like Park, you know, look, we're same goal, man, but you looking at it, oh, he doing this.
Right.
I don't like him. You know what I'm saying? Like, right, listen enough to go around for everybody.
Yeah, and I learned
Got same
that.
24.
When I learned that, my life changed. Because first coming in the barber, I was competing with the other barbers in the shop. So he cut 10 heads a day. I only cut 4.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I got to, tomorrow I'm going to make sure I cut 10. I don't care if he cut 9, he cut 12.
Right.
Once I get to 10, I'm getting close to him. And I can,
Right.
But when I look myself in the mirror and he became my competition, that's when my life changed. That's when I figured out, like, you don't know the situation of the next minute. Because when I looked at the big picture, he was in a situation where he had more kids. He had child support. Like, he had, 3 baby moms. So when I looked at him, he got to go crazy every day he's here. Because he got more on his plate.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when I looked at that situation, looked at it, and then I looked at me and made him my competition, that's when everything,
Well, you flirt.
Right.
yeah, because a lot of people want more on their plate,
Yeah.
but they ain't really that full, that hungry.
Right. The mind's bigger than
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And to feed off of that, man, I'm gonna tell you, like, the way I learned to make more money is to not even think about it.
Yeah.
Because the more you think about money, the bigger the gap. The less you think about it and you just do the work. It's like, some days I come in, I tell Tony that all the time, I do a schedule, but every day I come in, I'm not always booked. And the reason I do that is like, bro, I'm sitting here cutting hair, I'm not thinking about money. And money start pouring in the door. And then some days where I come in, I say, man, shoot, I need to make about 300 a day so I can just go home and chill.
That's all you think about it.
And I'm saying, and, you know, and thinking about it, 300, nigga, like you on the job again when I set my own limit. You know what I'm saying? So I developed the mind state of don't think about money. And I promise you, the less you think about money, the more money finds you.
When you chase it, it runs.
Yeah. Because you can't catch it fast.
But what I did, I didn't put a cap, but I put goal.
Right.
And I make the goal realistic, but hard. You know? So at one point in time, my goal was 350.
Oh, like,
My goal was 350 a day. Like, I ain't leaving until I get to 350. So when I got to 350, I'm like, all right, that went hard as I, because after I sat down, it's like, okay, I charge this much per cut. All right, so I need this many heads for 350. All right, boom. got 350. Oh yeah, it wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be. So now my next goal 500. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna stay in here till I get 500 today.
So it's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's crazy, bro.
But it can happen.
I'm talking about, man, I'm gonna be honest. I just sat in here on a day and I counted and it scared me. I threw the money down. You know what I'm saying? Because I added up on the phone and then I'm sitting here and I'm looking at I'm like, bro, I just made somebody's what they making a week.
Right.
On a good job in one day.
Write a check.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a scary feeling because, I mean, I do that a lot. Anytime
Right.
you see me, whatever I'm there doing, it, some people don't make
They don't.
money.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So it's just like, it'll scare you sometimes, like, oh.
Yeah.
Then I start thinking about, hey, man, how much I got to pay them taxes? Yeah, it's just scary. You kind of get in your own head.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
am I supposed to be? I don't even know how to manage it right now.
Right.
It's all hit right now. I'm like,
But at the end of that day, when you're sitting on the couch, your day is over and you're just relaxing, what's that feeling?
oh man, it's beautiful.
Gratifying.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
What's that feeling?
Yeah, and you know, and I'm gonna leave it with this, but like when we bless the way we bless, it's hard not to. I can't live my life without. You know, I pour it. You too, man. I'm constantly pouring into people because if you have the gift and you hold your gift just for you, why should God continue to bless you? So we need to, you know what I'm saying? If anything that we take from the blessings that we get, man, we gotta be, and it ain't monetary value. But a lot of times we assess monetary value to what we do. Bro, it's our time. It's your knowledge. It's seeing that one that's trying to do what you're doing, and you see that. I see that flaw, and when you see that flaw, you say, hey man, let me show you how to fix that. You know what I'm saying? And as brethren, you know, I would like to take that. We take that out into the world, man. Like, yeah, like help one, help another.
So Tez, how you feel about teaching somebody? Let's just say you got somebody that ain't up to that level, right? And they really can't afford you for your service. And ain't not something simple like what can I do? I want to cook for my wife this weekend. Would you
Say,
because so cause one time I had a client with two boys and he had a hard time. He got laid off on his job, so he couldn't afford the haircuts.
oh yeah,
So I showed him how to cut his boy's hair, just so he could save money, cause he didn't have it at that time. But to this day, I still cut his hair and his boys. And everybody was like, "Oh man, you gonna lose money.
No.
Teach him how to cut." Bro,
When he got back on his feet.
when he got back on his feet, and now he paid more than my prices, like big tips, because of what I did for him when he had it. So that's why I asked that question. Like, dude, would you help somebody that needed that?
Well, I mean,
But not, I ain't saying go crazy, show them your whole recipe.
yeah.
Just give them
I mean, if somebody was like, man, look, I can't afford, I like shoot them some videos or something like easy to like try this out, and I'm gonna shoot you a video, try it out.
Yeah.
It's gonna be step by step.
That's
But I mean, if you're in hard times, I don't know if you should be calling me. Not trying to be funny, like
Yeah.
you focus on some other things,
Right.
and we'll get back
Yeah.
around to it when y'all can. And you know, I phase it like that. But I help. Where I give back, I help chefs try to come up.
right.
So I got like a mentorship program. You got to pay for it, and I'm not saying because of the money. I'm trying to see how serious you are.
Right.
And I'm trying to show you how important our time is. So I've had a girl literally, and she's a good chef with us now. She was like, give me a few weeks. And I was like, okay. And I didn't think she was but she saved the money. Okay, I'm ready now. Okay. And I've made her far more money than she paid me. But it was just the principle of, I seen how serious you was. So you're not going to waste our time.
Right.
You know, because people would come to me and, hey, I do this. And I'm like, I'm going to give it to you if I know you're serious.
Right.
But I'm not just giving it to any and everybody just to go and be frivolous with it. So
Casting pearls on swine.
I learned that too, Cause at first I was like, when I first got in the apartment, I was like, yo, why you doing a fade class? He charging $300 for a fade class. Like, that's crazy. But like you said, somebody that want to learn how to fade, once they invest that $300, they're gonna take it a whole lot more
What's
serious.
that $300 once you learn how to fade?
Yeah.
Right.
You know what
So,
I'm saying?
You make that back.
Yeah.
You could.
Yeah, I'm about to say. So,
Yeah. You turn that to 100.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, so it was, yeah. So I mean, I look at it like that. Like, if I do offer, mentorship and stuff like that, and I'm trying to scale right now, so I'm looking for chefs. So that's my little thing I put people through. And if you rocking with us, man, I'm gonna make sure you straight. So that's just kind of my way of trying to give back. And like I said, it's whatever it costs for the mentorship, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna give it back to you. Like the first time, be like, that was just a little long. Let me see how. All right, now I'm gonna put you with this person, and what? There you go. Right, I gave it back to you. So, yes, sir. Yeah, man.
What about you, Tom? Your business hard. For you to be bringing up another trainer, a young trainer.
Right. Which, I mean, in previous roles I have, like jobs that I've left that I was working for like different fitness organizations. So, hey, man, just trying to give them, look, this is how it is. I'm trying to give them the ins and outs of type of clients you have, the type of schedule you may be on, how to balance different time frames. You may have to, make a workout for this client. You might have to alternate the workout for this client because they got this, specific injury, whatever the case may be. So, like I said, man, the previous roles I have, but that goes just, well, what are you gonna do with it? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. How serious are you? So.
See, a lot of people say they want it, and they really don't.
Right. Again, the eye's bigger than the dry. But my last question for you is, which do you think is more important, cardio or muscle workout?
Both, equally.
Equally.
And a prime example, and it brought it to my knowledge the other day. I was looking at someone on, I think, Instagram. They was like, look at majority of the sprinters that you see running. They run, but look how built they are. You know what I'm saying? They jack. Most sprinters be, so it just transcends. Me personally, I would prefer to do weight training and then your cardio, just so you're not burnt out, prior to training. But definitely, I feel like they both equal. And as a man, you definitely want your legs anyway, because that's your test boots, so. But yeah, definitely get both. Because a lot of times what I tell clients as well, their cardio helps on what's inside.
Right.
The fitness training, it's gonna help inside too, because you get your heart rate up, do whatever it may do, but it's gonna help the outside. And cardio gonna touch deep to what you can't see.
Yeah. So, and then my last question for you, how important do you think having that family, two-parent home played a role into your discipline and just your view on the world? Did it give you balance?
Yeah, I think, having two parents raising kids is definitely, ideal for any situation. Yeah, because I had, a strong mother that instilled some things into me.
Right.
And I had a father that instilled some things into. So I do think it played a huge part. We see people who don't have their father in their picture or don't have their mother. We see how that outcome is, because you need, as a man, I think you need both. You need that feminist touch and that woman's touch. Just a caring mother, but you need the father to. My mom is still disciplined on me too. Like, no, man, if you ain't finished with that, you ain't just about to quit on it. So, right. It was discipline from both sides, but having a father that was able to teach me some things about being a man and respect and stuff like that, that was, extremely important as well.
In hindsight, you could see where some of your friends who didn't have that, you see the difference in that decision making versus yours.
Yeah. Because something I always say, if you're a man, coming up in, just a hive full of women or something like that, cat can't teach a dog how to bark.
Right.
So,
right.
And I'm not saying that people haven't thrived through those situations, but having both parents is ideal.
Yeah. and and feeding off of that, to the public people that see this, it's important that each person involved in raising the child put their differences to the side and focus on the child.
He is consistent.
Yeah, because like,
Sad story.
and to married couples, like, it's important that you understand to give up the selfish part of ourselves to make sure that that child gets that nurturing, get that structure, so they can go out into the world and they can see that, okay, and my mom and dad, they had their faults, but they raised us right. You know what I'm saying? And it's important that we put aside selfishness for a common goal.
I saw something the other day, man. They said, how can you expect your child to go to school and have a good day, or go out into the world and have a good day, and you've been yelling at them all day? Or how can you expect them to sleep good? You know what I'm saying? You've been yelling and screaming at them all day. So,
Right.
Hey, what we pour into them, man, is everything.
Right.
Absolutely. I appreciate y'all. That was dope, man.
Yeah. So and I just want to thank everybody on the panel today. Thank you for sacrificing your time.
Yes, sir.
And thanks for and I know how hectic your schedule was, and you adjusted to be here. We appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
And now, one thing that we will say is that your brand, if you can, get my man to get a picture of your brand, because we want to advertise, like I was telling you guys, this is a commercial for y'all as well. This is what we want to use our platform for, to promote people, businesses, and, to promote for our communities. Not taking away from other communities, but we need to build ours first.
Absolutely.
And I want to thank you, Jim.
So I appreciate you. Big time.
Oh, he gonna hit us with the Obama, huh? He gonna give it.
Already.
That's Klippah Talk, and this is who our sponsor, Red Rock.
Red Rock. We try Red Rock. We trying to get Red Rock.
Red Rocks, man. Let's
Let's get it. Let's kick.
That was dope, man.
Oh, yeah.